There we go. That works. Fun. Let's go back to here. Tried updating the picture. Love AirDrop. Except when I need it to just send a picture right here. It pops up and... Nope, failed to send. Good job. Select. I think we can just click this one. This one usually works first. Oh, it doesn't like when it does that. No CAPTCHA. Activate. Okay, that should work. And then if I select this one, that should work now too. Good. Good. All right. We have a wham. We're going to be doing this in carbon. That belongs back in here before I get confused. We're doing 5 over the rear. And 35 on the windshield. Then we're going to add a windshield strip. I'm in math class. Nice. Pay attention. Or just have GPT answer everything for you. Do we not have a short 5? Rip. Well, this one just got far more annoying this way. A lot more material. Unless we just give them an upgrade. Let's see. What do we got? What do we got? We need to do an inventory. We got a lot of boxes. Is this it? Is this the only 5? We have 2. No, this one. This one's 5. This one's full. So we're gonna grab that because I have 35, 20, and 35. Probably don't have a 5% sitting around here. So we can either do 36-inch roll this way, which on the Rams, to be honest, I don't like to do that. It works, but you have to shrink so much more here, and if you don't, this just stretches out longer and you just got more fingers. So we're probably just gonna do a 36-inch vertical. 36-inch vertical. Sounds like a jump. Let's go. Let me make sure this is working real quick. Yes, 'tis working. Good. Waste some film, but hey, if you don't keep track of your inventory, that's how it goes. I got a lot of boxes, just sometimes not in the right shades. But we're doing 5 over all the sides in the rear. And then we're gonna do 35 on the shield. This is especially gonna suck for like a windshield strip probably. You know what? I'm thinking in hand cutting terms too. I wonder if that would be tall enough. Like a door window and then a back glass. You might be able to fit something on there off of a 36. I should check. Love your videos. Thank you. Thanks for hanging out. What do we got here? Just enough to do this one. You currently busy with work? I mean, we are, yes, we are working. Have you tried vinyl? Yeah, I've dabbled. Vinyl's cool. Very forgiving, but also it's its own skill set. Lot more time consuming per vehicle. All right, so let's trim that. And then we're gonna take our knife and we're gonna cut a bottom edge here. Since we didn't use the factory edge, we're just gonna put a little bit of blade out, right like that. See, and I can't go all the way over because the knife just runs in there, so then I'm gonna go back over this way. If I was more competent left-handed, I would just go straight across the entire way. That's good. We're gonna start cutting here. Define that side edge and then cut down. Tear that away. We're gonna loosen this up. And then we're gonna slide this over. So Ram 2500, very similar to a 15. Backlash seems a little bit easier though. They're a little bit different. Best tint to buy for intermediate tinters. Just for like practice, I recommend T-View a lot. I'm hoping we're gonna have a better answer for that this spring. Oops, I gotta turn this on. Copyright strikes. Let's go. What do I need to know before starting a tint business? How long you got? There's a lot of things. You gotta first know how to tint. That would probably be the first thing. what are you really asking? Are you starting your own tint brand? Uh-oh. Maybe. But in a where it needs to be. Have you tried Rogue? No, I haven't. People like them though. I have trouble cutting the top edge. So, okay, so the reason this is so wide really quick up there is because I noticed this rubber kind of kicks back out. So rather than follow this curve up here, I started lower just to get it straight. Because this is all going to tuck behind the seal anyways, but I didn't want it to pop out too much. So we're following that line there. Trim those. Having trouble cutting the top edge? I really like this knife for that. And these blades. The BA54Ps. These are really thin carbon blades. We noticed an immediate difference for people whenever we handed them this versus using one of these. You can still cut a beautiful top edge with these. Stainless steel is a little thicker, and it's very, very sharp, but it's a little bit softer too. So with a lot of new people, for whatever reason, I would cut a top edge and I'd hand them the knife with a new blade or let them use theirs, and then they would keep snagging a top edge. Then we tried these thinner carbon steel blades. Way less snagging, way easier for them to cut. And with a plastic knife, you don't have to worry about your pressure when you're pushing it against the tint. So keep the angle consistent. A big thing that people miss, though, is you need to press the plastic. I'm gonna grab a piece here. Do a quick top edge lesson. These top edges you can get down very quickly. It's repeat practice. Oh, my edge is over here. So when you're using this knife, you want to make sure that the plastic is all the way against. See how it hits that? You want to make sure it's all the way against that edge, and it kind of just will knock against it and hold itself there. Put out about 4 clicks, 4 or 5. You don't want too much that's going to be slicing into the trim, but you want enough that gives you a little stability here. I'll angle it forwards a little bit, but you can keep it perfectly straight. You can tilt it down a little bit. Just try and keep that consistent, right? Because where people get wobbly edges is they start to pull the knife away and push it back and forth a little bit. But stand in the center, lean into that top corner, and then keep your feet more planted in the center of the window, and then you're just more moving your body rather than like standing back and letting your hand kind of do this. Because when you start doing this, it gets awkward and people tend to drift away. So, all the way across. But take a piece of film, put it up on the window, cut a top edge, take that same film, lift it up, cut a top edge, and then you just go over and over and over with a couple pieces of film. You get top edges much quicker. Is there a big difference inside 5% ceramic versus a 5% regular? Yes, 5% ceramic versus 5% regular, absolutely. 5% ceramic versus 5% carbon, not as much. So we're gonna put another one in here. Also, change your blades or make sure you snap them off, because every couple cuts, the blade starts to dull out along that edge. So you have to push it out one more, which means that you should take the end and just snap this off. Keep a sharp blade. All right, where were we? So we got a couple patterns cut out. We're gonna see how this top corner lines up first, because these don't just go straight, these curve right here. That's good, I like that. That matches up really nice. Then we're into both seals, plenty. So these patterns are good. We're gonna now separate it. Take this over to the driver's side. The rear windows are a little bit more unique Because we don't have a straight edge. We have a curved edge. What are some of the better brands? I mean, GeoShield is what we're using now. I quite like them. So we're gonna get this ready for snap shrinking. We'll install the front doors first, and then we'll get to the back doors. What is chattering in my tool belt? Stop it. Tint always goes inside. Prep happens on the outside. Truck, you don't have to shrink. This, you absolutely have to shrink. Absolutely. If you don't shrink a ram, you're gonna have some serious fingers. Unless you pull the seals. Little bit tighter seals on these, for sure. Makes it harder if you need to try and press out a finger on the inside. If you bottom load it, you don't have to shrink. Yep. But I leave the seals in. I don't bottom load. So I'm gonna shrink. I saw a video, Tinting's a sport. I saw a video of a few competitive things. There's like people that yell at frogs and get them to jump really fast. There's the like housekeeping competitions. Everything can be a competition. There was one, a head massage competition clip that I saw, and I'm like, no, I don't know how you judge that one, but it had a bunch of people standing around with clipboards. Pretty great. Ever have any failures with Geo? No. Nothing that wasn't my own fault. So I've been very happy with them. Okay, so this also has some stitching here. So we got to be careful. We want to be even more protective sometimes than we are, and just make sure that we are not going to allow water to seep in there. Because if it does, that type of leather with stitching starts to swell. So covering is one thing. Sealing and trying to waterproof it is a bit of another. Want to send my Mustang GT? Yeah, schedule it. We do them. The AirPod. Yeah, that's how I hear. That's how I hear all you guys. All right, so we're gonna see if we need to torch this window. Doesn't really look like it. It's a little spotty, but I don't think it's enough to have to whip out a torch on this one. Can I set up a session with you one day? Yeah, we have one-day training classes where you can choose what you want to learn. My brother helps teach them. He's been tinting for a very long time too. He comes out here and does the 1-day sessions. So Chad is constantly playing in your ear? Yeah. It's the only way to really, like, not have to whip my head around and stop and read the comments. You guys are a text-to-speech. But you're still on the TV, so if I'm talking, then I'm not listening. You can just go to our store site. Info's there. Ooh, that sounds like somebody's got a forklift. So let's coat this. I gave up on tinting, but if you need graphics, hit me up. I appreciate it. It's not for everybody. There's things that aren't for me. Can I use this tint on my house windows? You want to be careful with your house windows. Different type of glass a lot of times. It's not as good as automotive glass. Like it's not built to take heat. So with architectural, you want to know what kind of glass you're installing on, and you just want to make sure it doesn't absorb a lot of heat. You have to use films that reflect more heat away. Can you show using a filer? We're not going to be using one. But look, do we need to? Do we need to use a file? I don't feel like we do. I get it as close as I possibly can to the edge without going over. You do a nice, clean, consistent cut. Do you disinfect your tools after a car? Do tools get infected from the contamination? Tinters like to throw the word contamination around. It's contaminated. No, I don't. But maybe somebody can start the tint decontaminator. You know, like you put your jewelry in the little thing, you see the cloud. Somebody should do that for tint tools and call it tint decontaminator. A tool like that would probably blow up in the group right now. We could stop talking about gels for a little bit. Oh, there's the gel question. Right on time. Do you use Instagel? Yes. Yes, I do. We're going to use it on the windshield. We might use it a little bit more in the summertime, but I love it for quarter windows and windshields. I used it for a little while on the doors. It's nice. It's very nice. Have you ever damaged a customer's car? Never. The gel was hugely surprising for me. I get the discussions. I think they've been very helpful. But the way that they have carried on has truly been surprising. I didn't see that happening. If anything, I thought gels were going to be a tough sell. Like when there was a couple clips that popped up of like gel and window film, I'm like, use this to help remove contamination. And it was like, what? Ooh. And then gel started to come out. But what I hadn't thought of is use it sparingly, and it makes a ton of sense. There's no reason to spray the whole thing down with gel. You don't have to do that. And then what brand of gel? I don't think I've seen a bad one yet. I just maybe wouldn't jump on getting aloe vera. Look at that, nice and dry. Ooh, that's what we like to see. No swelling, no stitch getting wet, no swelling. Whew, like it. I don't know, I feel like you can use any of them. We have Instagel, I feel like you should. See, I don't just jump, I don't jump into another product thing unless there's a clear reason for me to be there. I don't just like come out with an alternative to come out with an alternative. I have Mike's gel. Mike had a gel when people started wondering about it for tint. And I asked him before I ordered it. I was like, hey, yours has been around for a while. This is good for tint, right? He's like, yeah, absolutely. We use it all the time. It's good for PPF and window tint. And he sells it at $35 to $40, $45, depending on like where you order from. There's nothing that I'm gonna come out with that isn't gonna, like, my version would be a tad bit thicker at an economical price. So I order it from Mike for now. I don't see a reason to go out and make my own. Okay, so we gotta shrink this side. How many cars do you do per day? Depends on the day. We did a couple yesterday. We're doing one today. Thoughts on important sauce? I have it over there. It's really good. Ooh, that makes me wonder if I lost my... Where's my... I gotta find my Instagel bottle. Important's really good. It's thicker. I don't feel like Instagel is runny, though. But a thicker gel, like some of the demos that he got are very impressive. Like he had a video where he put a sticker on the window and then the gel pushed the sticker out. Like, so the idea with a gel is that it acts as a barrier. But the thicker the gel, it can also encapsulate the dirt and it keeps it away from the adhesive. So it just like smooshes it up and out. Rather than water just gets squeegeed out and the dirt sticks to the adhesive. So I used this stuff yesterday. I gotta find my bottle. I have a spray bottle of this stuff. Maybe I got put back in here and I didn't realize it. Nope. Yeah, the sticker video is great. Super cool demos. I love seeing stuff like that. Do you dilute important? No. You don't dilute any of them because the whole point is to keep them a gel. So if you take away the gelness, then there's no point in using them. But the cost difference is wild. And I have no idea why it's so expensive, but it's, I think, what, $140 a gallon? Like, good God, man. I thought your slip solution was expensive at $60 a gallon. So, most of the time, Like, this is like the fine wine that gets left in the cabinet and we bring it out every once in a while for a special event. So I'm pretty much gonna use Instagel the majority of the time. But it's 100% a very good performing product. Gotta pay their California taxes. That could be it. I don't know. Does he offer free shipping with it or something? Because, like, that's the downside with like Instagel being priced where it's at, and we've had some problems because, dude, we have like free shipping over $100 and film over 500, but gels are like, you ship a bottle of gel out to, we're in Michigan, anywhere here, and it's like 20, 25 bucks. It's almost the cost of the gallon. It fucking sucks. Because it's heavy and it's a liquid. So they just suck to ship. I'm sure it's sold cheaper as a different product. It's always common, but unless you have the recipe, you don't really know for sure. So I don't know how much research and stuff went into it, but I mean, it's a great product. It works really well. It works as intended, and it's claimed to be completely safe for it. So I have no reason to think otherwise. Instagel's retail price? We have it for $39.99. You can find it. They have it on Amazon for I think $45. Some places are probably $34.99, but again, the problem is shipping. How much do you pay for a roll of tint? It just depends on what the tint is. So like the carbon that we're using right now, 40 inch of that by 100 feet is $307. We said tint my windows, not scratch them. But we have to scratch them a little bit. Just a little bit. Just so it's like when you drive around, it's irritating. It opens up the pores. I got 3 cars to do today. Nice. That's a good comfortable day. I like those days.
3 cars is the perfect number.
I think so. 3 cars is a great day. Free shipping with Shady's code. On the important? Probably on the important. So he's got some affiliate stuff worked in there too. What's the max number of cars you can do in a day? Like physically, that number is always being pushed.
We should do that one day, like line up 8 cars, like you, me, and Daniel here.
I don't want to do it.
Tint marathon. Hey, 314 is coming up, or 313 is coming up.
Oh, that's this month.
Yep. I'm reminding you more than a day ahead of time this year.
I remember we remembered more last year, and then we didn't do anything either. No, I think we might have done something last year, but it was probably late.
Last minute.
It's almost 313 day. It's Apple Day today. They just released cheaper MacBooks. I think a MacBook at like the same price as the Mac Mini. Something like that. But not an M. I think iPhone chips instead. You don't use Blue Max anymore. God damn it. Can't I just use a different squeegee for a minute? If I touch something else, I don't use the other thing anymore. That's how it always works, right? I think I like a Blue Max better on the windshield. A Blue Max better when I have some tighter areas to get to on doors. And a hybrid on doors. Because the hybrid's got a little bit, just a little bit softer. And it curves the glass really well. On a windshield, I need more pressure down towards the lower areas. So I can press more water out on that with the Blue Max. They got their places. They're both super good. I could use either one and be perfectly content. This is a nice squeegee blade though.
Mostly the hybrid for a really long time.
Yeah, and we'll have a new one to check out from Triage here in a minute. I don't have it, but very soon. I just did an order with you guys. Thank you. Appreciate it. Do you ship with UPS or FedEx? Typically UPS or USPS, depending on what is ordered. Film is a toss-up too between UPS and FedEx. Nice. No swelling. I like it. I personally take the keys out of the ignition. I mean, that's good practice. There's no key though. There's no, it's a push button. Oh, it shut off for you though. Huh?
I wonder how many people that repels on live.
Ding,
Because I
ding,
don't even
ding,
care.
ding, 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 ding. Yeah, I also have my headset in, so
Oh, yeah.
I don't even notice it. Look at that. That's why we taped the seals. You see that? Look at how gross that is. You lick it. Okay, so front doors are done. Rear doors are taped. Where did I get film from you? Okay, I'll go get my sign. Our very custom sign. This is the site. 5% off if you use 313 Tint on tools. And we'll leave that right there. Ta-da! I like it. Every time I get to the bottom, I fail miserably. Don't cut your patterns too long, but yeah, there's definitely some complicated steps that we need to run through. Okay, we are out. This one is done. Detroit Tint Studio, Sterling Heights. Do you need to shrunk the film? Yes, you do need to shrunk the film, even if you use a plotter. So all the plotter does is trace out your pattern. That's it. So it saves you a cutting step. It doesn't save you any other steps. We're gonna do that on the back window here. But I'll be nice, I'll hand cut these doors. I always get questions on oddly shaped ones. Truck back windows typically have odd shapes. I also should have a shorter roll. I don't. So I'm just gonna use a longer roll for this, and I'm not gonna flip it sideways, because I still wanna shrink out the bottom. After 10 years, my Lumar Pinnacle is growing fingers and lifting. It's got a pretty good life to it. Lumar's got a solid warranty, so wherever you got it installed, bring it on back. Lumar's good about replacing stuff. I just don't know if they have a limit on their lifetime. But they're one of the few companies that do a very good job about fixing people's issues. Ram 1500, one of the hardest windshields? I don't think that's true. I mean, we got a 2500 that we're gonna be doing. So stay tuned. They're not the easiest, but they're definitely not the hardest. What tint brand? I like Geo. That one. I need to be taller. This truck is too short. I'm too short. This is a non-lifted truck. Oh yeah, sprayer. Let's grab that. Hey, I'm normal height now. All right, we're gonna slide this over. Have you tried Reno? Ooh, I heard too many bad things about Reno before I ever tried it. And then somebody that I know tried it, and just compared to what we were both used to, it's just like it's a very different film. So I don't have a good reason to try it. So this is a very curved edge. Bulletproof tint, they do. Anyways, this is a very curved edge. If I roll this window down, there's gonna be a large gap here. The glass kind of falls out of that corner. So we actually wanna look at when it goes from this direction and starts going in that direction. And that's basically here. So from here down is gonna be my side edge. Just this little bit right down here. We're gonna tear that away. And then we're gonna slide this back over. See, we got a little overlap here. Unless it accidentally, oh no, that's perfect. Little overlap here, little overlap here, and then we're gonna pull this down. So if I cut anything up here, it's gonna give me a really big gap unless the window's rolled down. So we're gonna tack this in place. Trim off this area that would drag on the paint and stick. See how it kind of like hangs up now? And now we're gonna roll this down so we can cut the entirety of the side and the top together. If our truck was on. That's important. Oh, copyright strikes. Let's go. One platform cares, the other one doesn't. Funny how that works. Is it possible to do this myself? Yeah, absolutely. That's where tinters are born. You do it yourself, and then you start doing it for friends and family, and then you're like, shit, I got a tint business now. Okay, so we pull back the curtain here, and oh my God, you see that? See how that all curves away? So we're gonna trim this out. Follow that curve. I can't see it. There it is. Go all the way down as far as you can. Voila. That's our edge. That's all the information that we need to be able to cut the rest of this pattern. What other? Oh, I can't say because then they get bitter. Not the people, the platforms. And then they just start doing funny shit in the background. So I can't say too much. So we're gonna cut this. This edge just goes straight. All we're gonna be doing is following probably. Nobody cares about Twitch. the red one, yes, that one, red tube. Okay, here. Let me try and break this down a little bit. Okay, so we're gonna go down, and then we're gonna round this corner, go over. But there's a big gap here. So there's going to be a little bit of guesswork here. Because if we follow this straight, this kind of kicks out here. But I'll still follow this straight up. And then the way that this kicks out, you can see exactly where you need to cut, and you just follow that same curve. And it doesn't matter if that is perfect or not. But that's how you get that edge. Twitch. I can say Twitch. Twitch is a dumpster fire. I did though. Or kick. Okay, we're gonna round this corner a little bit more. See that? I guesstimated that one. Almost got it. But we're gonna round that a little bit more before we install that. Now we're gonna match it up and see where it goes. Much better on that. This corner, I got enough clearance on both. Looks good. Let's get this separated and installed. What blades do you need to use so it doesn't scratch the window? Stainless are your best choice. You still got to be really careful. Snap off your blade, cut sparingly. Stainless is still not completely safe. But stainless is a softer metal, more similar to how hard the surface of glass is. That's why it works. Carbon steel is another very common metal that they use in blades. Harder metal, very good at cutting, but will always scratch the window. I've never seen it not. I got a bunch of different types of blade, and I was like, These might not. And then tried it on a few cars years back. Oh, they definitely did. They definitely did. Which plotter do you recommend for beginners? Plotters are a bigger investment. The workhorse machines is as cheap as I would go. Some people have gotten the Beaver machines to work, but they're all budget vinyl cutters. The rollers aren't in quite the right position, and it's like, dude, to have a physical electronic thing that's 50 something inches wide and precision cuts, like it's a big ask for like $500. I've got rolls of tint that more expensive than that machine. Use a Beaver plotter, I get roller marks. Okay, so your rollers are your own fault. Rollers, you just use the 2 on the sides, 1 on each side. But if you got it dialed into cutting film, like, it's fine, it'll work. It's just, you can't guarantee that, you know, it won't cut a little bit farther in this area and a little bit less, and that's just not quite set up right for tint. So with the machine, we're going to set this up for the back window in a minute here. But you're going to have a wide grid roller, and you're going to have little rollers. You need to make sure one roller is on the wide roller, and then the other one is on any of those other rollers. On the cheaper machines, you don't get this roller. You get a bunch of little ones. So sometimes your tint placement isn't quite right, but they're all set up the same, where one side goes on a roller, the other side goes on another roller, and your pinch rollers go on top in those spots. You'll still get roller marks on those edges, but that's margin that you have to cut off. Do you recommend me taking the 1K class or just use the internet and my personal vehicle to learn? Start with your own vehicle. See how you like it. Some people just have a knack for it, but you'll learn very quickly if you, 1, really like it, and 2, you just get some general experience built up. So when you actually, like, if you actually take a class, classes are so much more helpful. If you go into a class without ever touching film, a good chunk of the class is getting used to handling and putting film on the window. It's time better spent learning the little differences that you just have a hard time picking up in the videos. Like, this is a whole car start to finish. This is what we teach at the classes. We teach a few different ways of installing. Pulling seals, bottom loading, 2-staging, reverse rolling, Frankenstein, and whatever weird terms that we want to throw out there. But just literally picking up the film and carrying it to the window, you like fumble, drop it, you start creasing it before it ever gets to the glass. Like, film's really sensitive, and everything gets really slippery. So spend a couple weeks at least, get some film tools, practice, see how that goes, and then see if you need to take a class. You should have an online class. This is the class. Welcome. We tried that years ago. We tried having an online school. It's a grind. So instead, we have a tool store. So if you like the videos, you need supplies, you can order from us. You don't have to still. Videos are still free. Don't you scrub or only razor? Razor does both. And better most of the time. So a scrub pad is still well and good. But you want to be absolutely sure there's no hard specks on the glass and there's no adhesive. Because a scrub pad's just, how good does a scrub pad work on a stuck-on food kitchen plate? Like, you really have to scrub it. Then you wipe your hand over it and you scrub it some more. Then you throw it in a dishwasher to do the rest. Razor blade's just gonna chip all that stuff off if it's there. So I just go straight to the razor blade. Tuck this over. Then we're gonna line this up. So how we cut this, I'm gonna make sure this is as close as I can get to the top without going over. This really looks really good. See that? Just look at it. Look at it. Look at it. Was that close enough? I hope so. Nice. Make good money doing this every day? Hell yeah. Good job. That's the point. Doing a good job making money. I've been watching your videos and now I can install films 1 year down the... That's awesome, man. I bet you the first year was a grind, especially the first 6 months. I'm sure a lot of people have questions. Like, at what point did you, how long does it take you to do a car? How long did it take you to get to that point? Oh, we were supposed to talk about tucking. God damn it, we're already tucking. Okay, so the main thing about tucking is I'll start with one corner, I'll do the other corner, and then you see these points here? See how they're on the seal? If you remove the seal, it just drops in, and then it's way easy. But I'll take this, and I'm gonna pull the seal back, and then pull the tint, and just get it to drop in. And as soon as that drops past the seal, that's where it all starts falling into place. But if I put that bottom edge way down here, like when I was cutting out my pattern, I pulled the pattern down. If it was way down to here or lower, super hard to tuck that. You don't need to pull your pattern down. So we probably tucked it in maybe like a quarter to like a third. It might be a ½ inch, but probably ½ inch at like the longest I would go. Anything past that just makes it way difficult. What film do people use to be charging $229 for fronts? I priced Apex at that before I priced Pro Nano at that. $250 for 2 front doors. It's a combo. It's film and shop. It's not just like, if it's something that you can just go buy on a shelf, then everybody does it, and then it doesn't become as valuable anymore. It's trick, or it's sales, it's presence. Creating somewhat of an image, making it desirable. I mean, that's why you can have a Louis bag go for whatever it goes for, and another bag made out of the same material go for way less. So you gotta create the image and just everything. That's why AutoZone tint is junk and $10 per square foot. AutoZone is really expensive. Yeah, it's not easy, and it does depend on area too. And that's always changing too. As soon as a bunch of other people do it, like, you need to have innovators and creative angles and stuff. But yeah, we're using, not on this one, but we priced GeoShield Apex, which I just put an $800 box of Solar Guard on the heat box, and Apex, same numbers. Hemorrhoid cream, what do you recommend? And Seal Guard, maybe some Instagel. The code is 313 tint. I need razor blades on this side. The class stole them. I put a box. I'm buying a box. Put it on my tab. Or is it up here? Oh, you know what I want to do? Oh, it's this. That's why. Yeah. There we go. Now I got razor blades. See, I had one, and then it fell on the floor, and now I'm over here, so. I'm really bad at keeping track of razor blades here. I go through more than I should. I typically just use one per vehicle. Unless they're like for the doors. Do you blade every time? Yeah, because I don't know what's there. I just covered it up with film. It's factory privacy glass on it. We need to clean it, and we need to be thorough about it. So, because I can't see it super well, I'll just take a blade and run it over the window. If I run a scrub pad over it, it does a good job of cleaning. Just if there's something stuck, a scrub pad just glides over it, and you don't know that there was something there. But you can typically feel that with a razor blade. Not always. If you have like a really thin adhesive residue, sometimes you can miss it. Beginner kit, we have some really good tool kits that are on sale if you buy them as a bundle. Or the kits are in a bundle, so they're on sale. That's how that works. But we have like a beginner door kit, beginner back window kit. We have like a pro door kit and a pro back window kit. If you're like, why don't I have a pro everything kit? And you buy both the pro door and the pro back window together. But there's some tools that overlap, so you don't necessarily need everything in each one. So some people buy a Pro Door kit and then a couple other things that they think they need for a back window rather than getting both. Butt plugs, no. Unless they're worth selling. But I don't think they would move super fast for us. Big sad.
We don't have any more shelf space.
We lost shelf space. I'd buy them. You'd be our single butt plug customer. Do we need different sizes? How are you reading chat? Through the 5% and the factory tint together. Yeah, we probably got banned just now.
What, for my ringtone?
Oh, no. For selling what we were just gonna sell. I have no idea. I'll look at it. It could have dropped off the cliff. The platforms can be like dumb sensitive randomly. You always have to appease the platforms. Okay, so we're going to tuck this window. So take this bottom corner, pull back the seal, start with that, flatten this edge, work that forward. Go over here, push this onto the window, pull that seal back, and then careful of the stamp because it'll freeze if you just push it too hard on the stamp. And you shimmy that into the side edge a little bit because then it starts to do that. So you want to take that slack, lift it up above the seal because we need to suck into it, and you go back to one of the edges, start pulling that back, and you're just looking for all the points that sit on the seal. And then you just pull those back and start tucking it in. See, anywhere that it hangs up, you want to try and get that film below the seal. And then it falls in. There we go. Then I'll pull the seal back while I'm squeegeeing out the rest of the window. Swipe the edges. There's a bubble up there. Let's go over the rest of the window, get the whole thing, overlap, push out extra water. And then again, go around the edge. Good. The life died on TikTok. Ah, see? I'll see if we violated some stuff. Yeah, actually. See, YouTube is more about just don't copyright strike anything. Like don't play music. TikTok is just discontinued due to inactivity. So I missed the Captcha. They're just more sensitive about that. Like you always have to check the desktop to make sure that you're still in front of the desktop, even though like they just don't want to run streams 24/7 without somebody there at the computer. Really annoying. because we would. Even Team Red has a limit with theirs, but oh no, we're locked out. We're locked out. Both. You could both places. Okay, so we got this back window on a 20. Oh, and it all fits on a 24. I don't have a 24. That's sad.
Sometimes you can fit the back doors with the back window on top of them on a 36
Yeah.
on the plotter. You can for sure on a 40, because that's how I do back windows on trucks.
I was gonna see ungroup. I'm gonna see if I can stack them all together, but I don't think, no, on a 36 it's just too tall. Rip. Annoying.
Do those in a sunstrip?
Hmm?
The back windows in a sunstrip?
Yeah, but he wants a curve, so I'm just gonna put one up there.
You can still do a straight line.
I can put this one here.
Wants the curve?
Yep. You know, it is kind of funny how that works because, like, tinters are like, how do we make it not look like that? And then you hear it occasionally, and then you figure out a way, and then there are people are like, I want the curve. And like, damn it.
I got a girl that asks me once a month for that purple tint. No, I want purple. No, I'm not doing that. I'm not putting back in on it.
We had one of the students, he was like, yeah, I bought it with it, and I didn't know what it was at first. I thought it was like aftermarket something. He's like, well, it is aftermarket. That drawer. All right. Oh, yeah, we gotta click buttons too, don't we? We have to click this one. Then we'll look. Are you no longer cutting your own? I just did the doors. I just did the doors. I can never win. Whatever I'm doing in the moment is the way that it's always done. Yeah. Yeah, ever since these 4 doors, I stopped hand cutting. These 4 doors right here, that was the end. We have completely switched.
You're not allowed to go back and forth. Can't switch squeegees.
No. Anything. Install. Yep, tanks, spray bottles. Oh, you don't install ceramic film anymore? Wait till I grab a different box of film. That'll be fun. Okay, so we're gonna lay this out. Oh, you know what we should do? We should flip this. I want this to be the exact same way that is. Have you heard of the dryer sheet method when shrinking a back glass? I'm gonna pretend I didn't hear that comment. Oh, I hope this don't snag. Okay, so these, this is the first truck, the first vehicle I've ever done. My first day. So the top and bottom right now are the top and bottom of my roll. So if I shrink this one, I have to shrink out this edge, this edge, this edge, that edge, this edge, that edge. I'm saying that for my own good. So this one is going to be for this window right here, close to me. And then this edge we can shrink out of. We don't really need to do much, but we will, just a bit. Do you get the liner so quick? Peel a lot of films. Snap it just a little bit. On this one, is there enough here for me to do? Oh, I should probably trim that first. And you can just do this. There we go. Heat gun is a little bit of shrink. I guess I'll use one of these. I don't know where my Instagel bottle is still. So I might as well use that one. I learned tinting because of you. I've been doing it for 7 years now. Nice, super cool. Do you guys have your Instagel on tap? It needs some more air. Oh yeah. Fresh bottle. All right. Let's look at what we're dealing with here. Is this the one that folds up? And then this comes forward a little bit? And then we can get those out. Does it work?
No, it's not reading this off.
Ah! It's gone backwards.
Yeah, I'm gonna call her back as soon as.
Yeah, like that. And then the headrest can come out. Oh, these are some seat covers getting in the way. Nice. What temperature should the air gun be when shrinking? As hot as it can get. You can control your speed and distance, and that'll vary the heat. Because if you just point a warm source at the film, eventually it just gets hotter and hotter and hotter. So just use as much heat as you have available. That Instagel is hanging on the trash can. It is? Oh, I think you're right. Wait, where? Oh, it was hiding. C. Pinkerman, thank you. I appreciate you. That would have stayed hidden for probably another stream. It's still hanging there. How'd you know? I am the best magician on myself. Put something down, poof, it's gone. What am I supposed to do with this bottle now? I've got 2 bottles, one for each side, and watch how that's gonna work out. Oh, this is like the best ram back window. I miss when they were like this. Just big old quarter windows. Is there significant time savings with a plotter? Yes and no. If you're competent at hand cutting, a lot of the time, you're gonna be pretty similar on time, which is why it's a big trade-off for me. If you're doing one shade, then you don't have to change out a roll. That'll save you a little bit of time. But where plotters really come into play is when you have somebody else run the machine. If you know how to dial your plotter 100% faster, still, like, yes and no. A competent person running the machine and doing everything, like, if the windows are tedious to cut out, you're absolutely saving time. So, like, on this back window, for example, I'm definitely saving time overall versus hand cutting this. On an average sedan, not really. But I double cut door windows. I save a lot of time there. You know, when you hand cut, you skip the time weeding. So, like, there's still steps that you're avoiding on both, but have somebody run it for you, cut things out ahead of time. Like, plotter wins in the end for sure, as long as the patterns are good. Squeegee that out. What do you prefer, M? What? M what? I like it. Good pattern. On to the next one. Oh, between like hand cutting and not hand cutting? I like both. They got their trade-offs. There's always something about hand cutting that I appreciate more of the time, because I know I can get a really good window if I just hand cut it. I sometimes don't get the same quality off of a plotter, and that irks me because they just wasted material. So if I get an awesome pattern, plotters 10 out of 10. But if I don't, suck. You could DIY this. Some people are better at DIYing their first time. But if your goal is to just, I want to get a super good tint job and then only ever tint my own car, like that one car. And a lot of times it's not necessarily worth the money because you don't really save a lot of money. You're buying material, tools, everything to do it. So keep that in mind. But if you're looking to do it as like a side hobby or don't mind just learning about it and getting the stuff anyways, and yeah, absolutely go for it. Line that up. Ooh, nice pattern. A roof? Oh, I wonder what roof. We don't do very many roofs. I wonder if it's because we just did one on Monday. Any advice on tinting in warmer climates? Cold water. I've tinted out of not the hottest of garages, but we've had 95-degree weather. I've been in small garages in that weather. It's not fun. Pull the vehicle in, spray the glass to try and just bring the temperature down as much as you can. And then before you install, spray it down again. Like try and keep the glass temperature down so your film doesn't stick as aggressively. Is it just soapy water? Soapy water works. Baby shampoo. I'm not using just soapy water. I mean, it is a soapy water, but it's a soap that's made for these films. Gives it an extra kick because Geo has very sticky films. I used to use baby shampoo. Baby shampoo works very well for a lot of films. Not as many anymore, though. But anything that makes the film slide, that's not a detergent. And I guess something that's going to ruin the film. Like I did spray an ammonia glass cleaner once. That was kind of funny. Watch the adhesive melt away. No, Monday is going to be the next one. Is everybody getting busier now? Gotten far more phone calls and bookings this week. Last week into this week. Seems like it's picking up. People are tired of the cold. Even though it's still cold. They getting antsy. Okay, so spray those edges, just flush them down. This is the gel. Soapy water still. And then what the gel will do is keep water from running out of the corners.
No, we already have that.
Tuck this down. Make a decision now. Now. 5, 4, 3, 2, now. Book it now. Should do high pressure sales. 5, 4, 3, 2, now. Cool. Let's wipe this off, dry it out a little bit. But all the sides and the rear are done. We got a windshield that's gonna get 35. And a windshield strip that's gonna go right over it. Oh, I'm so old now. No! The seals on mine keep peeling my tints off. Tuck below. Don't tuck very far. And make sure it lays nice and flat. Because what's happening is it's either sitting above the seal, which is not always the best, but a lot of people crunch it along the edges. And if the film is kinked, it doesn't lay flat. Still see a little bit here. Yep, little finger right there. Gotta soak up that water. It's hitting an edge almost. My car's older, seals are dried and stiff up to my windows. Any recommendations? What vehicle is it? I might be able to tell you a little bit more if I know what it is. All right, so let's get this prepped. There'll be a lot of up downs. I'm tired already. Did you get the film stick on the dot matrix without any gaps? That's $1 million question. You need to fill in the gaps or take the gaps away. And there is not a perfect solution. So even this one, this has a band that goes all the way around and down. It's just not gonna look that great. It's gonna silver out, typically evenly, but it is gonna silver out all the way around. The only things that you can hope to do is like fill it with some type of a glue or you sand the dots flush. There are some videos where you'll see people taking a torch and heating up the glass and then just pushing really hard. That sometimes works. And it just sometimes does not. But it's still only needs to look a little bit inconsistent somewhere for it to not be very good. Like there's just there's no surefire way to do it. Can you hire me? For what? What's your skill set? All right, so we need to do a windshield strip. Something that's a little more UV stable. People are taking like a craft glue, but it's going to be sitting facing the sun. It's going to yellow. I don't remember what it's called, but 3M has like a clear gel style glue that I think would hold up a little bit more, but it's really messy. So the thing about it is you have to tint the whole windshield, and then you have to peel the tint back, kind of let it dry some, and then put a nice bead of glue, and then push the film up so the glue sits in between there and kind of fills in the gaps. But you're not gonna get the bottom, the side edges. Like it's only for like the thicker dot areas. So then we could seal this all in and make this look better, but then you got all that. There's just not a perfect solution. That's my car. It was stolen a week ago. Well, hang on. Let me finish it first. Cash out the customer before you take it back. Yeah. Then we can get some ad revenue too. Would you hire me? Am I hired? I already asked you, what do you do? And you responded with, am I hired? It's not looking very good. I'm putting glass aid around the border. What that's gonna do is keep my blade off the window. So when I trim it, I don't risk putting a scratch in the window. The black paper on the glass. With side windows and the tape? No. Quarter windows, yeah. Told my cousin to use solution to safely remove the tint. He just ripped it off. So there's a lot of glue most likely left behind. Hopefully that's it. All right, so this is coated with the snuggle dryer sheet. We're gonna let that dry. And while that's drying, we can finish covering up the inside and clean off the windshield. We already removed the mirror. It was a twist-off mirror that fell off in a different way, but it's good. High-tech films? I haven't personally used them, but they're good company. They're owned by a global distributor, so some of what they sell is global. And some of it is not global. They're probably like, do they do territories? Can anybody tell me? I've thought I've seen that comment where they do territories, but I don't know if they really do. ASWF? Ew, not a fan. Do I tell my horror story with them every time somebody asks, or do I just leave it at that? I won't tell you guys who called me, but they had a post not too long ago in the group. Somebody purely asked, "What do you guys think of ASWF?" They hated the comment so much, they thought it was a hit campaign, and they requested that I didn't get a phone call from them, but I definitely got a couple phone calls asking to remove it. It's funny. They're a little sensitive. What's your favorite company? GeoShield. GeoShield is such a nice film. Service, price, film. Using them since, what, 2019 now? I've been really happy with them. People ask what I would switch to. I'm genuinely not sure. I would probably look at a few companies that I don't know a ton about, but I've seen a little bit more here and there. Stack would probably be one of them just to like look at. I know nothing really about them. Oh, this is gonna be short. I think I fucked up, boys. We'll see. We'll see. No. Oh wow, that was way shorter than I thought it was gonna be. It's like half an inch short. It is like a 2 inches short on both sides. We'll save this one for a rainy day. Oh, you know what we gotta do too? We gotta do a windshield strip first, so like trim one out so we have it ready. And then we'll do this. Maybe another car. You know what's gonna happen? This roll's gonna sit around, and then it's gonna end up in the garbage. But we'll keep it around until that happens. It should go on another car, but it'll sit around just long enough to get annoying, and then it'll get thrown out. And then the next vehicle that comes in, it would be perfect for. Do warranty tinted windshield? Yeah, for sure. anything fails on the car or is not up to expectations, we fix it. I don't care if it's a windshield. Film shouldn't have gone bad. It's illegal. What about the doors? What about the front doors? It's illegal if they don't have a doctor's note. Same thing for the windshield. It is legal if they have a doctor's note. Can't tint our front side windows here where I live, but I do it anyways. You rebel, you. Roll the windows down. I know, works every time. Okay. So, I'm gonna put this over here. I need to put a 5% banner up there. Oh, this kind of sucks. So, we have... He's probably gonna go for a lower one. This is 5 all the way around. But it is going to curve quite a bit from the center. It's going to go from here, and it's going to go all the way there. But I just don't know if it's going to be down a 1/2 inch or more from the center, which means that it would be one big piece. So do we put one big piece up there? Or do we do 2 pieces and line it up right in the middle? Save some film. Probably going to have to put 1 piece up there. My dumbass put a dryer sheet first. That's gonna make it extra fun. What do I got back here? AS1 line. I wish that were a law here. That's not a law here. It's just 4 inches. 4 inches or a doctor's note. Some states AS1 line. We're not gonna do the brow first. We're gonna cut the brow first. So that way we're not trying to line up a windshield strip when we have a windshield setting. So we just do one, immediately do the other one, and then it's all well and good. I guess we'll just go straight across and see. Might as well. Then we'll just line it up from there. If it gets trimmed off, so be it. It's been a while since I've done a big one over the full windshield, though. I hope this one's long enough, though. That'll really be a kick in the nuts. Best brand of tint for your money, Geo. Best branding, probably the one that's most talked about. That's Expo. Oh yeah, we're probably gonna go quite a bit higher on this one. Back and forth and back and forth. No. It's not a struggle, it's a cardio. Yeah, probably. It's a psychological trauma. I'm gonna line this up where I think it should go. Pull it flat over that way. I don't know if I put it all the way across, so I don't know if he wants the bottom of the tab or not. He probably wants a little bit below.
He's out there.
Yeah, I'm gonna grab him. I just want to have something. Okay. You want to come back and look at the windshield strip? If you want to hop in there, that gives us the best idea. If you want to go higher or lower, it's completely up to you. Or if you like where we put that, but you're going so dark on the rest of it, I figured you'd probably want a little bit lower. But if you want it higher, we can raise it up.
You're good right there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Nailed it. Sweet. Let me take a ruler and just measure this side for a reference.
My side's lower.
But I get the general idea where we're going for.
About an inch below the
Yeah.
in the middle.
So from here, we're about 10. I go from like the upper corner.
Yep. I can see. Just get it flat there. Oh, here, I'll do it this way. No, I can't.
Should have an opposite tint ruler.
Yeah. So, I'm at 11.
Okay, so pull yours.
10 now.
Probably just this slack. Right about there.
I'm at 10 and a half.
I really didn't move mine.
Yeah.
Yeah, right about there. It's pretty good. I'll leave a little extra on the top so I can shimmy it. Just hold it tight and I'll card it. I should have just, you know, not done it dry. But that's perfect. That'll work. Does it work?
No.
Ah!
It's crashing anytime somebody calls.
Lovely.
But when you call the first time, it works.
We use our actual customer calls to test our software. And we just don't pick up. Oh, that's so fun. You'd think I'd be more stressed about that. Which brand did you say you would look at if no geo? I'd look at a few, and I'm trying to think off the top of my head what they would be. I don't know much about Steck. I would look into them. They've grown up a lot over the years. Never heard anything bad about them. I just don't. I don't know. Might be a 2-second phone call for all I know. Ceramic Pro. I'm not enough of a Ceramic Pro type dealer. Like, I don't want to carry just a Ceramic Pro window film, and their main thing is ceramic coatings anyways. And you would think that their presence would have been a lot more than they are at this point. High Tech's like a pretty direct alternative. So I wouldn't just like go to High Tech. Like, I genuinely try and see if there's something else more interesting than just that. But if you like Geo, you'll probably like High Tech. If you like High Tech, probably like Geo. But Geo's got one more distribution point, which is especially nice for California, Vegas, out west. But if I was going like purely for brand, and I didn't care about film pricing, it'd be, hey, what about like a Lumar or an Expel? But when it's about a good brand, but more so about the film, that's where it gets a little harder. So most other companies, they're just not as known. But a lot of companies have good films. There's that. To the other side. Expel Global or Autobahn. Global has good films. Ugh. They just didn't do a lot. They used to be known. Now they're like, who's Global? Expel. Kind of overpaying purely for brand. But as long as the brand works for you, that's the big trade-off there. If it doesn't work for you, then what's the point? But if it does help you close higher sales, but you absolutely are paying a tax on a film, that is just gonna get you hopefully better sales, not better performance. Oh yeah, we're not pulling that away. We're pulling this away. So this is gonna get installed after we do the full windshield. We're gonna do one, and then we're gonna do the other. Can Soapy water method be used on the back window and the front windshield, like for heat shrinking? Yeah, for sure. Just a different way of doing things. Ooh, there's my alcohol bottle. Let's not use that. I was like, that's a full new looking bottle of something. It's got the blue tape on it. That's my alcohol bottle. I need that. I'm gonna clean the inside of the windshield with that. Rhino. I'm never gonna give Rhino a chance. I don't know. They're and it's a little bit unfair to them, but there used to be a saying in all of the groups that was say no to Rhino, because they just had some really bad films for a while. I haven't seen that same thing. There's people that like them. There, Reno let so many people down. Like, that's all I need to know. Like, so I've got other companies to give a chance before I ever would touch their film. See, there's so many okay brands in a similar price range that, like, then you start learning about where films come from, and then it's all just kind of like, I don't know what else. Like, 'cause somebody mentioned Autobahn. Autobahn would be a, I think, a better company choice. Not to what I'm using, but just as far as the companies that are out there, they would be a solid choice. Got nothing bad to say about it. They have a really cool brand culture. And it's genuinely nice to see that kind of stuff. They've been more about supporting other dealers and working an inside network. I like that. It's very, very cool. Does squeegee durometer really matter? Yes, but not like 75 to 95. You'll feel a difference from there, but like you don't need a max durometer squeegee. It's just every squeegee's gonna feel a little bit different. And the other thing that really doesn't get mentioned is these are all different durometer squeegees of the same type. So this is an injection molded squeegee, injection molded, injection molded. They inherently have a different, more rubbery feel to them. Same thing for these tri-edge ones. These are injection molded. They're a little bit more rubbery because injection molding, you can't use every material that you'd hope to use in that type of machine. This is an extruded squeegee, the red line, and same thing for the Blue Max. So these are different. And then the hybrid, I think, is a poured cast squeegee. So this one's even more, a little bit different from that. So I want to say the flat out is the same type of durometer as like the red line. Yeah, they're both like medium hard, a 6. The flat out feels different than the red line does, but they have the same durometer. We got a mess of razor blades. Let's grab this. We got alcohol bottle. We need a scrub pad. And then I was gonna come over here for a Slim Slam before I got asked about durometer. Best for a bigger what? Squeegee handle? Like an 8-inch? Tops will make you, in North Carolina and Georgia, just make you pull the tint off right there. I've heard some of them do that here. Can't have any fun. This isn't a squeegee, this is a razor blade. We're going over it with a razor blade because I have missed adhesive in really dumb spots. Especially harder to reach spots. You just, for whatever reason, don't see it. And then, oh, we're doing carbon, so we don't have to do this today, but we're here. I want to get in the habit of hitting especially the edge areas so it sticks a little bit better. Goo Gone. There's a lot of adhesive removers that don't really work very well. I think Goo Gone is okay. But if you want something locally to help remove tint adhesive, use LA's Totally Awesome. Works really well. This stuff, it works so well, the labeling is gone. Yep, ATR. Love that stuff. That's super good. We have one called Tint Strip. I still use ATR. Like, it's okay. I like ATR a little better. Where'd you get that tool? Which one? The scraper? Do you use just alcohol? No, I mainly use soapy water. This is part of a set. This is the Fusion Quarter Pro. It comes with 2 size handles, and then this changes into a squeegee blade as well. VCM? No. I'll double check, but I don't think this is that truck. It's a Ram, but I don't think it's that model. Not all Rams have that same issue. This one's a little bit older. And it's a 2500. I don't think it was the same issue on the 2500s. I don't know where it is. It's probably not far. But I don't remember. Or I don't think it was the same. Okay, so alcohol bottle. Mainly for the edges. It's not something I always do, but it's better for it if you do. Because there's always something that can build up. Or just like be there on the dots. So I've run into that a few times with Apex, so I'm trying to just get in the habit. Razor's gonna clean off adhesive and any specks that are stuck to the window. Just, it's very thorough. And then a little scrubby with some alcohol is gonna, like razor blade's not gonna scrape the dots. Alcohol will wipe off whatever's there. Just use it sparingly. There we go. Should be good. Now we just need to actually shrink some film. Wouldn't 100% alcohol get glue off good? Sometimes. In theory, it should. Window tint adhesive is a son of a bitch. It's just stubborn. If you have like an old purple bubbly back window and you spray like Windex with ammonia, the adhesive just like disappears. But on a lot of adhesives, ammonia and alcohol don't really do shit. There we go. That was a better toss. Got it. Man, that happened to me so many times, though. I used to work at a place that had a lot of Ram windshields for me to do. Toss a windshield over, and then I'd run to this side where you couldn't see very well, and I'd be like 3 or 4 inches short. And I'm like, I didn't cut that much margin on the other side, I know that. You line it up, and you're like, oh, I got a ½ inch worth of space. Fuck. It's the worst. Such a big piece of film. They give you enough points to revoke your driver's license in some cases on the front windows. Yeah, but over there, you're not allowed to do anything. I watched Clarkson's Farm. It's the land of red tape. 35 on the windshield? Yes. And then we're doing a strip over it. we're gonna cut out a wham. So shorten it up from the cowl, any molding. So like here on the sides is short. The top doesn't matter as much, but you can shorten it up right at the top. The main thing you want to be sure of is it just doesn't run into anything. So we're gonna fold this right in the center area, tighten it up, card it flat, zip that side off, that side. There we go. So on these side edges, I don't have a lot of margin. So I'm just gonna take the edge of the card, bump these flat, flatten that out. 35 is gonna be a little bit easier to see. Heat gun, turn that on. What time are we at? 1, 2, 3, 45, 2.5 hours. Something like that. Max Jet Pro in the UK? I would think you could get Lumar and a few other ones. They're not the only ones that are over there. There's Max Pro, but I've never heard of Max Jet Pro. But personally, I wouldn't carry Max Pro. Kind of the same reasons I wouldn't carry Reno. They just had a real bad run. And then they're not known for carrying, like, they're just kind of an option. Sorry if anybody likes them. Okay, so top corners, see how much flatter it is in the middle? Like there hasn't been much that I need to shrink, but there was far more that needs to be shrunk in here. We're already getting these swoops that are coming over this way. So when I card up, see that swoop? I'm gonna bump that out the side, flatten that out, but oh no, we got some fingers. So I'm gonna lift this up again, flatten that out, a little bit more to shrink out here. But with these corners, I want to try and, I'm not going to force film up here. I want to stretch it out this way. So again, we heated up another little section. We got these swoops coming in a little bit more aggressively because this corner pinches a lot tighter. So that just means there's more curve. Now we take that, watch this. Whoop. Flatten this out. Now that's a lot flatter than it was. That's how you do top corners. How do you put, I see you put a date on your heat guns. How often do you replace it? Yeah, Mark did this. End of September, or July. Look at that. We replace it when it don't work no more. But now we know how long we had it. So this one's been running since July. Like, it can be spitting fire and we'll still use it. If it can shrink a window, it's good. Gets a little sketchy, but just as long as it's not spitting lava on the windshield and melting it, we're okay. How are you preventing any fingers in the rear view mirror? Sometimes we get them, especially around a tab. You want to keep that area as flat as you can, though. So if you push the fingers kind of around it and flatten out the tab area a little bit more, you can kind of like prevent some fingers from popping up. But like, let's do the bottom and then we'll come back to the top. When I shrink film, I'm using the tool to lay down. Why does it scratch or bunch up? The scratches are in the clear liner. So you're not scratching the film. You're putting scratches in the delicate, clear part that's going in the trash anyways. It's just a dust cover. Why is it bunching up? Is you're not shrinking it quite enough. So if I don't make sure I get this pattern, so we get these nice little waves, but these areas are all bunched up. If I just take my card and flatten this out, it creases and goes to shit. But one of your slim slams, long reach, some reason my squeegee keeps coming out the end. Is this common? We had an early material. We found out that it started to loosen up over time. A temporary fix is you can take a heat gun, warm up the end, and literally clamp it back, like you can bend it, and then just run it under some cold water, and it'll work better for a while. But just hit us up, info@313tint. We'll send out a better material replacement. Just with like the order number or your email so we can look it up, and we'll ship out a replacement. Do we shrink the sides? No, you can't shrink the sides. Film is stupid. It only shrinks out the top and bottom of the roll. It's like a really weird quirk about film, so that's what makes shrinking a windshield harder. Because you have to flatten this out, and then you get the film to bunch up here. So, heat gun, 45-degree angle, going up. We're just looking for this little wave pattern to form. If you don't see it, you got to keep heating it until you do. So you see these little, goes from this wiggly, vertical, bunched up fingers to being these tighter little waves. And then you card this forward. And then as you get towards the outer edge, you'll notice on a more curvy windshield, they start sloping this way. See that? Wants to come right out the side. So what do? You just keep coasting it out the side. Top corner readjusts. If you see a finger, lift up the film. Flatten it back out. Tack that down a little bit. Start shrinking a little bit more. And oh look, we're starting to get another swoop. The swoops are good. They kick, like they readjust these top corners, and then that starts to go out and then make this a little bit flatter. Same thing here. And then readjust a little bit, makes it a little bit flatter. And it takes away so much bulk from that corner. Gonna buy a gallon of tint slip in a few minutes. You have finally convinced me to get off the J&J. It's good stuff. I've been very happy with it. Geo has always been very tacky. Tint slip helps with that. That's what I get out of it. Do you do classes? Yeah, we actually have 2 people coming in tomorrow for a single day, and then we have a 3-day class next month. We just wrapped one up last week though. Okay, so that's all shrunk, ready to install now. Heat gun on medium? No, I put the heat gun on high. Just make sure you move it. Closer you get with the heat gun, hotter it is. Farther you pull it away, cools down a little bit, and then you just adjust your speed. Putting a heat gun on medium might help some people out, but you're just not putting as much heat on the film, so that just means you're holding the heat gun closer and you're moving slower, which honestly might be good for some people. But no matter what, if you take a heat gun and it's on medium or high and you leave it pointing at a spot, that spot gets hotter and hotter and hotter. So you're still like adjusting your speed and distance, even with it on medium. Probably disconnected for inactivity again. Yep. So we're gonna click again. Tint, as always, melted and ripped when I'm shrinking it. I had it on medium. Yeah, like medium. Anything that can melt the film enough to shrink it can also burn it. So that's why like a medium heat setting isn't gonna save you any. It just might put the heat gun at a more comfortable distance and speed. That comes a little bit more naturally to some people, but that's it. Shrinking the film is literally melting it. As soon as heat touches it, it melts together. You can do the same thing with saran wrap. And you see demos of them doing it with vinyl. They stretch vinyl or put their fists in like a flat sheet of vinyl. And then they take the heat gun and it has like a memory to it. Window film is just, think of it as just like thinly stretched plastic. As soon as you touch heat to it, it contracts. But there's no way to bring it back from that. Only shrink inside the glass aid? It goes over, but just enough to flatten it out. You don't need to worry about anything past it because it's all getting trimmed off. So once it gets trimmed, we touch up the top and the bottom, and then it's ready to install. Is this a tint? It is. This is a carbon. EC2 carbon. And I hope this one goes well, because we're gonna put a windshield strip right over it. Sneak me a little surprise. You want me to spit in it? Ew. That'd be a little surprise. I appreciate it. All right. Oh, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna see. Hang on. Oh, there it is. It's right here. Appreciate ya. What I'm gonna do? I will actually throw in a surprise for you. There. Does it have a? Oh, is it oh, they're there's a Geo Shield pen. There we go. Appreciate it. That's so we don't forget. It'll ship with it. Ooh. That was an oopsie. I know that sound. All right, Insta-Gel we need our sprayer. Everything's been cleaned. So now it's just wipe it off and stick it. So we're gonna go through, oh, it's an empty roll. Whew.
It sounded empty. I didn't know if that was sprayer.
I saw that part of it, and I know that I booped it with the ruler when I walked by, but I didn't think that was like, oh, that fell over easily. But I definitely thought it was the roll that I just used on this windshield. Oh, I got the sprayer here. Do you do clear windshields for tint or for heat? Yeah, absolutely. I think it's one of the most awesome options, because everybody thinks windshield dark, can't see, privacy. No, there's legitimate reasons to tint your windshield that has nothing to do with privacy, and it's genuinely very cool stuff. We just did one earlier this week, 70 on the windshield and 70 on the front doors. And then they went limo over the back. Extreme opposites. Good video quality, but it's gonna mean, yeah, I hear ya. Just back and, you know, just. There's this one. Here's these video clips I would see. Oh, they're so funny. This guy's wife had like a, I don't know, every time she would hear a gagging sound or like a throw up sound, she would like want to vomit. He'd be like, hey, guess what? And then she'd be like, ha. The lightest is 70. The lightest that Geo has, there's lighter. I want to say Lumar has a 90. I'm sure somebody else has like some 80s and stuff. Geo could do a better job of filling in a couple of shade gaps there. But it's not really a priority. But I want to say Lumar's got a 90. Definitely no 100. Even your windshields. Your windshield itself is typically like 75 to 85%. Okay, so we are going to a reverse roll. Geo 70 doesn't look good, IMO. Which one? They have a Pro Nano. They have an Apex. Those are the two that I do. Apex is a little bit on the light blue side. Apex is a little bit more yellow. C2 ceramic doesn't block out enough heat in the 70. But like they're not really supposed to have color to them, and they're so light that I don't really see it. Look brownish slash yellow, so that was probably Pro Nano 70 that you used. Apex is gonna look a little bit on the bluer side. It's so light that when you pull it outside, I wouldn't say it's very noticeable. It's definitely not as blue as XR Plus is. Good God, that stuff is so fucking blue. Okay, with this reverse roll, the easiest way that I've found to just peel it nice and clean is I'll peel the top corner down at an angle, and then I'll peel the bottom corner, and that way I can get halfway. But I peel it shy right in here. So that's still attached. And that's because there's water running down here right now. And I don't want that feeding in around that tab area. So we'll spray that. We're gonna roll this up. Windshield window tint. You just wanna get a good window tint, and it'll be nice for a windshield. So we have GeoShield films on our site, 313tint.com. We're using 35% carbon. It's not gonna block a ton of heat. It's not really what it's made for. It'll block some because it's carbon, but lighter carbons don't. But it'll look good. This guy is all about going dark on this vehicle. He came out special. He drove like an hour out here. All right, so now we got this all rolled up. We can tighten it up a little bit, but we want to take the liner, and sometimes they match up so well, it's hard to get it, but there's the tint and the liner kind of connected together. You got to peel them and then get the liner to stick to the roll. So it just rolled up all the way, and all I'm doing is unrolling it. And it's freaking magical. I want Taco Bell. That sounds good. They took away the double stack. We don't get it that often, but that was like a cheat sheet menu item. How do they charge $2 for a double stack and then $6 for like a Gordita Crunch? I know. Crunchwrap Supreme, that one's really good too, but it's still like Dude, that thing is dumb expensive for what it is. $6 Taco Bell stuff is offensive. We still get it every once in a while, though. But holy shit. You get like 3 Taco Supremes and a drink. And it's like $12 or something stupid like that. Like, oh my God. So we get that side on. Oh yeah, we're tinting, right? We get that side on, tuck it in the lower corner, get the entire side nice and anchored. See how it's not falling away? I'm trying to do my best to always keep this roll steady. So I'm not bobbing this up and down. See, as soon as I do, it starts making that wave. If I pull it away or twist it, it'll want to rip the rest of the film off. So keep that nice and steady. And then every small stretch that you unroll, you just make sure that gets pushed on the glass. And the roll then goes nice and smooth. And then we get closer to the end and take this out. Taco Bell's the nastiest food I've ever had. What, you don't like a food that looks like it does, like it looks going out as it does coming in? You don't like when it looks the same? You guys, I love that the McDonald's CEO is just getting lit up right now because it looks like he hates the food. He does a thing where he tasted it. It's like, oh, this is fantastic. And it looks like he had McDonald's like never. Funny. All right, so now we push this into place. And we're gonna smooth this out. In order to do that, I'm gonna grab one of these. That one was a little unusual. There was as far as I could tell, there was a hair there. But it's really odd that I was able to like catch that. And I didn't squeegee the film down yet. Just like, oh, there's a little something there. Hang on. Looking good. Oh, no, I didn't catch it. Oh, it's still there. I just couldn't feel it after. It's right here. There's a little hair. Yep, damn contaminants. Right there, I see it. I see it, I see it, I see it. Does it work better than the brush? It's a good alternative. And what I like about it is that it's slimmer. Otherwise, I'd just be using the brush. But again, the fucking price on the brush. Like, it's $40, man. It's a brush. It's not a $40 brush. It's just in somebody's store, it's $40. But this will reach all the way down into tighter areas than that will. It's the same width as a... What's that fucking whale tail? So it's like 10 inches wide. They work really well. The whale tail has a better handle overall, but it's just much bigger, and they look like they're already damaged when you get them. Like it's just, yeah, it'll scratch the shit out of your windshield. So like you have to cover up the end too. Just a very old tool that's never been redone. But yeah, you're gonna notice a lot of similarities between that and the brush. You're just gonna be able to reach farther into tighter spots with that. What? It works? Is it on your website? Yeah, we call it the Slim Sweep. Every tool, we got the Slim Slam. We do have the reach around, but the alternative name for that was going to be the Slim Grip. Just we have a lot of slim tools right now.
It doesn't jump all around when you call it anymore.
Oh, nice.
So
It's got iOS calling, and it mutes, and speakerphone. And you can hang up on people. Oh, that's really good.
it's working on successive calls right now. That's the next.
What's that?
Where when I call the phone, it'll ring the first time, but it won't ring any time after that.
Oh.
So I got it to not crash the app anymore when I call it. So that was the first step. And now it's on fixing that.
This has been a multiple day thing, but dude, it was funny. We had phone calls working on iOS, except if you were just outside the app and you got a phone call, the app would crash. Like, oh shit, that's not good. Somebody's calling like the shop and they literally just can't answer the phone. You check back with us later when our phones are working. Good stuff. So I got to put a windshield strip on, but I'm going to check over this windshield first. Ooh, and then I get to do before and after pictures of this one. I'm excited for that. Want to see something fun? So I'll show you the appointments that I did yesterday. Oh, we got a 5-star review. That was super cool. Oh yeah, my cameras are going off. There we go. So we did an appointment yesterday. This was yesterday. I click on this one. So this is the front doors on the Lexus. And I got a couple pictures here. These were the after photos. And then on this one, we did some before and we did some after photos. If I go to a quote that I send to customers now, there are the pictures that I took on those cars. Everything automatically now goes to both a site and it goes to a gallery, and everything can be filtered by shade, vehicle, whatever, like, because when you check out a customer, all that information's there. So we're just reusing those same pictures that you took for the car, and we're letting you refeature them. It's not quite done yet, but it's cool. It's coming soon. It's gonna be like 500 probably before it's actually like it works for everybody.
I remember it took me like 85 just to get it to open
Yeah.
the first time.
This looks good. I'm happy with that. I'm looking for anything that I might have to. No, it's just water. Where's that a speck? That's glass. That. Oh, I think we got a little speck there. All right, cross your fingers, boys. It's not ideal. It's not very big. It's just in a not so great spot. So right here. Right there. Good. I hope. Let's find out. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. It's not there. Scared me for a second. So I stopped breathing. Yep, that's on the outside. Oh, what are you now? Yes. Yes. Okay, good. We're doing good. Did we get it worth it? Oh, it's worth it. We did it. We did it, boys. Dicey. Wow. Yeah, that was really worth it. If there's a little piece that you can, like, I don't know, you have like the real teeny tiny specks or really thin piece of dust. There's generally like, those are so hard to remove because it like buries itself in the glue. It's so hard to even feel where it is. But if you have like a little piece of dirt or dust nib or something that you can kind of scrape with your fingernail, they are definitely fixable. You're just chancing introducing more shit back around it. So it depends where that dirt really is. So if that was like Oh, you stupid. Dumb panel, come on. Don't do this to me now. I'm stuck in a weird position right now. Just don't do that. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. All right, we're gonna take a knife. There we go. Wow, that was close. Did one of those where like the panel goes back and then it just flicks the tint, and I can't get the tint to just rest behind it. So it kept turning into that little game of fuck you. Oh yeah, like that one. Close. Okay, we're good. No, stop it. It's gonna be a problem. Don't flex. Just stay. There we go. Stay. God, that's annoying. Okay, sweet. Metro Detroit area that works on cars. I mean, I do. I didn't say anything, but like, thought that came with the title. Spray bottle, alcohol, gel. Oh, I forgot my thing. I need my thing. Let's put it on this piece right here. There we go. Squeegee off the inside. Get this on there. Because once this is on there, we can't move either. But I didn't want to let this sit for very long. Yeah, tinting was definitely hard to learn at first. It didn't come naturally to me at all. But it's just one of those things that if you stick with it, grind through all the frustrations, it gets easier. But everything that is worth doing, makes money, always has work. And there's parts about it that get harder and harder. But overall, the day-to-day tinting portion of it generally gets easier and easier. The business side of it gets tricky. Gotta grow, gotta adapt, gotta learn other things. My first tint that I did by myself was probably mediocre and took about 6 hours. But that was after I had some type of training. What is this, 10? If I go in this far, about there. Yeah, that's good. There, there. Up a little bit. Oh, don't do that. Been a minute. Nice. I am using gel. Yep, 10. And this is 10. Sweet. Spot on. I just didn't coat the whole thing in gel. I just still used it on the top area. I've not had a windshield strip like this in a long time. But I did probably like 10 windshield strips last year. I just don't do very many windshield strips here. But most of them split in the middle. So I gotta make sure that this portion in the center doesn't have a finger Why does tinting need soapy water instead of water? I actually have a good video on that on TikTok. Somebody asked, like, why do you need water? Soapy water is so it slides. If it doesn't slide, it just locks in place and it'll look like shit. The soap helps you work out all the bubbles and smooth out the fingers. Why do you not post anymore? Oh, I get distracted doing other things. A lot of the TikTok videos I'd film over the course of like half a day or so. Fun to make, but I gotta spend time doing other stuff. So it's just one of those things where it's like very much entertaining to do, but also if I'm gonna put half a day into something now, it's either gotta just be entertaining for me or worth it. But that's why I like doing the live streams. I left a comment on Tintly about adding percent in films. I saw that, and I talked to Mark a little bit about it this morning. It's I want to make it work. It's just got to make sense for the form, and I totally get it. Like if somebody's just picking a vehicle and picking their shades and stuff, a lot of that stuff can change at the appointment time, but shops also just, they have a few different ways of even having somebody book online. They'll start with like select your vehicle type first. So like there's a bunch of things like that alternative ways that we could do a booking widget. But the complicated part is like, it's not just like pick your preferred shade and it's one selector. It's like pick your preferred shade per window. And so we have a way to like pull up the different coverage areas for everything. So it would probably be integrated into that. And I think it can work, and I think we can make it optional. Because for like here, we have different shops. This is just for my customers, we'll just talk about shades and stuff in person. Because everybody, like, they might pick a shade. The way I see it is like somebody's going to change their mind, or I don't want them to feel pressured, like they have to make a decision. And then, oh, I picked that. Is it okay if I switch now? But some shops do have their customers pick ahead of time. So when somebody's on your booking widget, you do want to do a little bit to reduce as many friction points as possible. So like, enter your information, pay a deposit, what's your vehicle, pick your date. And then it's like, the more you add to that, the more friction there is for that customer. So some people might just like, I'll just do this later and then never book. So we'll probably put it in there as an optional thing, because for the people that do just like, yeah, here, pick the film, pick the service, then you can pick the shades. I think like it can fit in there. What happened now?
Broke the columns in the web app.
What?
Can't make calls through the web app or through the computer, through my Android device.
Ooh, that's worse.
Right, my Android device.
Did that just happen?
I have no idea. I haven't been trying that while also trying the iOS.
Oh.
One or the other.
Does anybody use the Alibaba window film? Yeah, like so many people have used that. Everybody that's got a white label brand with a like, hey, this film's $160 a roll and it's ceramic. That's where it comes from. Yeah, if you want to make it optional, that works. So it's probably going to be a little bit before that gets added. We like to add things really quickly.
And they would have to pay for the app for that to be a feature.
And you have to pay for the app for it to be a feature. Yeah, actually, 100%. You have an app? We do, kind of. You can't download it yet. It's a web app. And my favorite part apparently just broke. What time is it? Oh boy.
Oh, well, he said nothing they touched would have affected the web app.
Oh. So it works.
Yeah.
Maybe it'll help it make a breakthrough. That's like, oh, I found the root cause. It's all right. I'll tinker around with it when I get home. Where's this going? Oh, right here. I just can't see it. I know it was up there. Are you involved with GeoShield more than just a dealer / installer? Well, we are a distributor. It's on our site. Then this cover goes up.
Hey,
Just kidding, I fixed it.
that's a call's work.
Oh, there we go. See, it was just that easy.
Okay, well, I'll work for your stuff.
All right, I'll see ya. Oh no, probably gotta get your dog too.
No, he's saying, I'll take him.
Oh, okay.
I'll pick him up tomorrow.
He's like, oh dang, I understand you, bro. That hurts. I think Tintley just broke. Says too many requests. On what part? Yeah, it's breaking all the time. Because it's going through major growing pains right now. We're trying to get it. Phone calling has been the biggest hurdle for the App Store right now. Because we have phone calling, and it works in the browser. But everything that we're doing right now to put it in the App Store has to change the phone calling. So we just got to make it work for both. And that's a tall order. But that's why it says beta. We'll get it. It'll be good. I remember when it was difficult to schedule an appointment on it. Slowly but surely, we'll get there. Okay, what am I missing here? Oh, there we go. GeoShield is from Asia too, so our Alibaba film's really that bad. Alibaba is typically just China. I mean, it covers a little bit more than that, so maybe you meant more than that. Most window films come from, like most good window films come from India and South Korea. Little bit from Japan. Those are like the main reputable Asian countries. Not that China inherently has bad film, but they will produce just everything at varying qualities. What about American film? American film is typically dyed / ceramics. And he's just got us on carbon. But here you see more dyed and ceramics and metallized. So we definitely like have some good companies, but it's just kind of like the American companies will produce all over the world. And then they'll do some of the process here, but it's not necessarily all end to end made here. So even when you have an American film, I don't know how much you can say is American. This is why I put customer stuff here. It's because if I'm gonna pull a car out, I'm gonna run their stuff over. So that's how I always remember to put their stuff back in the vehicle. Put it somewhere I'm gonna literally run it over. If I put it on a table, I'll forget it. Air doesn't go out, what can I do? Redo the window. I have to talk to Solar Guard. I don't know how much of Solar Guard is made in the US. They have plants all over the world. They do have one down in Florida, and I just don't know. Let me message the rep. I don't know what lines specifically come from there. A few of their lines I've heard come from 3 different factories. It just depends on which one has capacity to make it. But yeah, ASWF, Matico, like there's parts of them. I just don't know if the entire product from like end to end is here. I've heard mixed things about that. But they definitely have factories in a few different countries. Favorite content creator? What the heck? You need to watch more creators. I appreciate it though. Thoughts on windshield protection film? I think it's cool, and when carbon and ceramic films first like came on the scene, they were hazy and rubbery, and like all of them were not very good. But they got better. Windshield protection film, I feel, is kind of the same way. It's very expensive for what it is, but since there's a lot of attention on it, it'll probably get better and come down in price. So it makes more sense to protect like a windshield that's like maybe like $2 or $3 grand and up, just really expensive to replace. Your supercars, that kind of stuff. Not quite practical for the daily driver. You know? So that's where it kind of falls off a little bit. Because if it costs like $500 to get installed, well, I'm not going to spend that. Or I'll spend that if it's the only time I got to spend $500 or $600 on my windshield. But then it's got like a 18-month max warranty or something from some companies. So it's still going to show scratches, wear. So it's pretty good, but it's not perfect yet. I think give it some more R&D and development time. And then they'll be a lot more price competitive. Like maybe it'll only cost $200 or $300 to protect your windshield. Oh, that's not so bad. My windshield costs $800 to replace. Let's put it on there. And then if it wears out in 18, maybe like 2 years, oh, that's not that bad. I'll just get another one put on and did a good job. And bonus points if they're also ceramic. Because then, like Matico's version, they had a ceramic one. And so you could have a windshield protection film and not have to do the interior. It was 2-in-1. Like, sweet. Now you're saving me on actually tinting my windshield. Most challenging part when you were learning to tint. Most challenging part when learning to tint. Man, there's so many, like all the parts are challenging. And they still are. Not in the same way. They all like collectively get easier, but you can still have a vehicle that just like for whatever reason you're having a bad day and then it just kicks your butt. Looks clean. I hope so. I'm double checking all the little edges now. Lumar? Yeah, that was the first film that I ever used. I learned on ATC. I didn't realize how expensive it was at the time. Very good shrinking film. Liked it, good color. Never had any issues with it. And then, you know, they've just gotten more and more expensive, and the performance, like I have a film sample from Solar Guard. It's $800 for like a 40-inch roll. It looks very good. But Apex is like $650 and it has the same performance. So that's where a lot of I look at the bigger name brands. It's like you're generally not paying for any significantly more performance. You're paying for the brand. And if the brand makes you sleep better at night, helps bring you bigger jobs, or has programs that help your business, then it's 100% worth it. But if not, then what's the point? So with window films, I typically sit somewhere in between. I'm not going for the cheapest film out there. I never will. It's too risky. I like to find films that I know I can trust long term, but I don't go as much for branding. Nice. Oh, this is super dark. Ooh, will be some good pictures. We've got 3 white vehicles on the site. All these companies sell the same film, different name. There's a little bit more to it than all the same film. But a lot of companies sell very good films. But there's definitely, like, if if a box of Geo could be sold for $200, they would sell it for $200. They don't just inflate their prices to inflate their prices. Like, there's certain product levels to everything that genuinely make a difference. So you just have really cheap films, middle, high-end films, and then high-end films with better brands. I like to stay high-end films and then not pay the brand tax so much. Like on Solar Guard. Like if I could spend $800 on a box of film and book jobs higher up more consistently because of that box, then sweet, let's do it. But I'll spend the money on that film and then my customer go, what? And it's like, no, it's really, and they're like, no, it's okay. How can I buy window film brand name directly from the manufacturer without the logo? It's two things. It's generally volume. Oh, without the logo. I was gonna say with the logo. It's volume. It typically takes a bigger initial purchase because you got to make it worth their time and effort, even though it's in a whatever box. That whatever box still costs money. But you can try calling any of those companies and seeing what it would take. Some of them aren't going to entertain a phone call. Some of them will, and they'll let you know what it would cost. But it's all volume based. The more you order, the better pricing you're going to get. Ooh, it's nice. Is that dark enough? You guys can't even see it. I'm too short. Are you going live tomorrow for the class? Generally, no. Look at that. I wish I was this tall. Doesn't seem like it, but that looks good. For like the individual sessions, it's just like it's individual. So they pay to come learn. So if there's an opportunity there and they don't care, sure. But I'm not going to pressure people to just like, hey, we're going to learn and we're going to let everybody say whatever they're going to say at you while you're trying to learn something. Chat can be too rude for that. Everything's 5 on this. All right. Oh, yeah, 35 on the windshield, 5 on everything else. So the back was privacy glass, and that's tinted over with 5. It looks good. All right, I gotta cash him out, take off. Thanks for hanging out.